Started. Make sure you guys go tag your coaches in our team page with the link to get them on this call. They need to be on this call. So tonight starts a really exciting leadership series with four of my very top coaches. Coaches who have been doing this for a long time, who know what it takes, who are successful, who are building amazing incomes, and are going to share their hearts with you. But first of all, I want to go through some recognition. So first of all, it's August 6th. So this is pretty amazing that we already have people's names on this board. And if you're not on this board and you want to be, you must be in Team Fight to Finish family, and you must edit the document yourself. So these are a number of lives changed. So at the top of the Success Club leaderboard with Success Club 18 is Sammy Glonick. 16, Amanda Haydenreich. Success Club 14, we have Amy Rada, Taylor Ricker, Kelly Walker, and Cassie Biltz. Success Club 10 is Megan Kelly and Katie Roser. And then also Success Club 8 is Samantha Ioha, Ashley Banker, and myself. So congrats to all of you who have already hit your non-negotiable of changing at least 3 lives. And I know those numbers are only going to increase. So can't wait to see some new names next week on that leaderboard, and just know to update that document as soon as you start crushing it. Next up, we have top recruiters. Again, it's only the 6th of the month and they're already crushing it. These are people who are adding to their team, building their dream team, and building their vision for their business. So with 7 coaches recruited so far, we have Amy Rada and Taylor Ricker. With 6 coaches recruited, we have Sammy Glonick and Amanda Haydenreich. With 5 coaches recruited, we have Samantha Ioha. And then also with 3 coaches recruited, we have Kelly Walker, Megan Kelly, Ashley Banker, Aaliyah Vischer, and Whitney Michalski. So congrats to all of you guys for being freaking ballers. And we have 235 people on this call. Heck yes, amazing. Okay, so first, let me introduce our guest speaker, Amy Rada. So Amy is currently the number 6 coach in the entire network of over 450,000 coaches. That's freaking insane. She's in the top 10. She's going to crush it, keep going throughout the rest of the year, but she is at number 6. That is insane. She is an 8-star diamond coach. She is a 2018 elite coach. And she also has hit Success Club 10, meaning she's helped at least 5 people a month for 32 months in a row. So she has been hitting Success Club since she became a coach, and has only improved that number of how many lives she changes on the daily since she became a coach. So can't wait to learn from her. She's going to teach us her ways. Let me just come over here. All right, girl, you're unmuted. I'm going to mute myself because no one needs to hear me anymore.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I'm using my AirPods. Does this sound okay, though? Okay, because we have 2 wrestling dogs. I'm not in my office, but we're going to make this work. Awesome. It's so crazy, Jamie. Even though I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, this October, I still get nervous for team calls. Like, what? So just wanted to be real with you guys. My heart is like pitter-pattering and I'm all sweaty. And okay, here we go. So hi, everyone. My name is Amy Rada, and I am the CEO of Happy, Healthy, Humble. When Jamie kind of goes over how exciting it is to be in the top 10, that is such a team effort. And I just want to shout out all the girls on team Happy, Healthy, Humble who are a part of this community and who have contributed to number 6 and 8-star, of course. So thanks, babes, and congrats to you as well. Today, I have the honor to speak to you about organizing your business, organizing your schedule, and how to efficiently use the best of your time that you have to build something small into something great. A little background, if you don't know my story, a lot of you might, but I'm going to kind of repeat it here, so bear with me. I started this back in October of 2015, and I rejected Jamie 3 times before saying yes to the opportunity because I honestly just had way too much on my plate. I was a full-time teacher, kindergarten. So bless all you teachers out there right now who are heading back to school. You're in my hearts, you're in my prayers. We know how hard you work. So this call is really for you because if I can do it, so can you. And basically had my own photography business, was just getting married at the time, and you know, had a bunch of health issues, was just pulling my hair out because I just felt like I could never get my feet from underneath, like I was just constantly running, constantly, pushing forward. And each day just kind of seemed like an end task, like if I got through the day, it was like, oh, okay, I did it. So to add on one more thing, like people must have thought I was crazy. And the opportunity presented itself. And I just created a post about this, but I really saw the potential in what this could bring to my health journey. And then I started to see the potential in what it could bring to my career opportunity, bringing me that passion, bringing me that purpose, and bringing me that fulfillment every day that I kind of sort of needed at that time, because I literally felt like a walking zombie. So I had a lot on my plate. No, I wasn't a mom. So all you mamas out there, bless your souls. I understand your schedules are busy too. But I want to just kind of talk about, no matter what stage you are in your life, there is time and there is a way. And I want you to kind of look at me and say, okay, if Amy Rada could do this, I could do this too. Like, I need to just buckle down and figure out where I can find the time. So I'm going to share my screen because I'm a visual learner and I love to create. So this was fun for me. All right, so here we go. How to organize your schedule and make your business work so that it fits into any schedule. All right. So first thing first, I want you to write down, am I working with a purpose every single day? If you're not waking up with a purpose and having that set routine or that set schedule, you're really not utilizing your time efficiently. I had to take a look at my schedule. I had to figure out, okay, if I were to grow a business, where could I find time that I could figure out where I could plug in some of the 4 vital behaviors, or I could plug in my check-ins, or I could plug in my workout, because that's what I needed to do. That's what I was told I needed to do in order to grow a business. And so I looked at the 4 vital behaviors and I figured, okay, this is probably going to take me about an hour and a half of time with a workout and a shower and all that good stuff. Where would I find that time? My answer, in the morning. Lo and behold, Hal Elrod released his book, Miracle Mornings, changed my life, and started getting up at 3:45. I was not a morning person, hated the mornings. People are always like, are you a morning person or a night owl? And I'm like, I'm an exhausted pigeon. I have no idea where I am or what year it is, but here I am. And I made it work. Like, I had to figure out a way. So I did. I woke up at 3:45. Like, people would be like, what? That's crazy. Well, it is, but it worked. And so that's where I got my workout in. That is where I checked in with my challenge groups. That is where I was able to respond back to my emails, all before I even had to go off to my full-time teaching job. So I'm just going to kind of break down my schedule for you so that you know exactly where it started and you don't just think like, oh, well, she has all day. No, did not have all day. If you're a teacher, you know how busy your days are and how you have to work extra hours just to get your job done. So that is far from the truth. But so from 3:45 to about 5:30 is when I utilized my time for coaching. And I just kind of explained what I used for those, activities. And, guys, I worked down to the wire of each minute. So, like my showers were 5 minutes long and, my hair is so thick that it takes forever to dry. So I would plan out, okay, if I had a towel on my head for my hair to dry, that would be a good 20 minutes. That 20 minutes, I'm going to go check in with my challenge groups while my hair is drying in the towel, right? So I literally had it down to a science because that's how I had to be efficient with my time. Then I had about a 45 to 55 minute commute, depending on the weather, depending on the traffic. And that is where I no longer listened to talk radio. I no longer listened to the music on the radio. I listened to my podcasts. And when I started, it was Chalene Johnson. She was my hero. And the podcast from Beachbody. And then I started to listen to Audible. So if you haven't invested in Audible and you have a long commute, you definitely need to take a look into that type of investment. It is a tax write-off, and it is the best way for you to really get in your PD on your ways to work, because I didn't have another chunk of time where I could devote to reading a book. Sometimes I did, and on the weekends I would, but my road trips to and from work were where I got my PD in, and I listened to a crap ton of it because I needed it. I had such a negative mindset at that time, And my work environment at school was so toxic that I literally needed all the words of affirmations I could get in my life. So highly, highly, highly recommend looking at your commuting time. And just, even if you just have a 20-minute commute, I mean, anything is better than nothing. So I utilized that time. Then we had an hour of prep before the kids came. So you better believe that I was efficiently using that prep time and not heading on over to my coworker's classroom and shooting the breeze and drinking our coffee. Like, I was in boss babe mode because I knew the importance of building a business and the time it took. You know, the efforts you put forth today is going to pay off in 3 to 6 months. So I was like hustling hard. And Jamie said, okay, next up is Diamond. I said, okay, what does that take? 50 reach outs. All right, where am I going to find that time? And I would look at my schedule and analyze where I could fit in more time. So that meant using my lunch breaks. I no longer went to the lunch lounge. I now went to my classroom, scarfed down my meal, and spent the next 20 minutes reaching out looking for hashtags. So those are the types of sacrifices that you have to make if you truly want to put that boss babe cap on. Like, if you say that you want this, prove it, right? So the power pockets versus the power hours, you hear about power hours a lot. You hear about coaches utilizing that time. I didn't have a power hour time because I knew that if I wanted to grow this business to as big as I wanted it to be, my why was to be a stay-at-home mom. So I was going to do whatever it took. And so that meant that I needed 3 hours in my day, or I needed 2 hours in my day, but I didn't have a consistent hour of time where I could fit that in. So instead, I invented the power pocket, and that's where I use my 25 minutes there. Hey, babe. My 25 minutes here and an hour in the morning and maybe an hour at night. But that's what worked for me. So not everyone's schedule is the same, and that's where you have to go in and find the time. The last thing I had was, can you delegate or ask for help? I know that I'm going to shout Jess Lynn out on this one, but we discussed this at leadership where she started asking her mom for help for babysitting so that she could have some time to sit down uninterrupted and work on her business. I think she even had to call an Uber to get her mom over to her house or something. And it's like, if you find the importance, you will find a way. And so looking for that delegating, asking your spouse if they could help with dinners on Monday because you have team call and that's important to you. That is what I mean by delegating and asking for help. So here I just posted my teaching weekly income in May of 2017 versus what I made this past May in 2018 in hopes to just kind of inspire a little bit more what 10xing your efforts can truly do for your business. All right, so we need to simplify, we need to focus, and we need to execute consistently. So stop trying to recreate the wheel. You have an upline for a reason, and we have 2 incredible uplines that have given us amazing resources. Shred Nation, Chelsea is the queen of creating. She loves to create, and that's what she pours her heart into. She has awesome resources that are at your fingertips, but have you utilized them? Jamie and Steve, they go live all the time. They have amazing topics that you can really take from and have pages of notes that you can use towards your team. Graphics, PDFs, whatever you find out there, you guys, just use it. Later on in your business, when you find more effective ways to go about, or you're starting to grow to the point where you actually need to create a new coach welcome guide, that's when you can go and invest that time. But for right now, use what's given to you and be okay with that, because creating pretty graphics and, eye-appealing PDFs is not going to reflect in your income, right? It's just going to take up some of your time that you could be using elsewhere. In social media, you need to tell your story and you need to share your truth. So a lot of people ask, Amy, how did you grow your social media account from 400 followers now to 63,000 followers? The answer is so simple. I showed up every single day consistently. I was simple in what I wanted to get across in my messages every single day. And I was focused on targeting my market, which were teachers, tone it up girls, and newlyweds. And so by me sharing my truth about my lifestyle before Beachbody, my struggles with anxiety and how I overcame a lot of those paths, my irritable bowel syndrome, my leaky gut, those types of things, sharing my truths, sharing my insecurities, and especially sharing who the Amy was before Beachbody and who the Amy is now is exactly how I grew my social media. Consistency and sharing my story. I always want you to know that everybody has a past. Everybody has demons. Everybody has struggles. Everybody has a story. So stop being the victim and start being the warrior, because people on social media want you as their person. Like, if you are that inspiring, they're going to choose you. So if you add value to their life, then you are going to be valued from their point of view, and you're going to become that coach that they want and need. So the 3 R's are real, relatable, and resourceful. You need to show up as who you are and not try to put on a perfectionist mindset. Too many coaches focus on trying to get the perfect picture with the perfect caption. People don't want perfect. They don't want the Barbie coach. Oh, maybe they do, because there are some gorgeous coaches out there. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't want the perfect life. They want someone that they can relate their story to as inspiration. If something is helping you, then share it. You guys, something as simple as meal prep. People don't understand how to meal prep. They get confused on what to do when grocery shopping. So if that's working for you and it's something that you're proud of or excited about, share it. And social media is such an amazing part of the world nowadays that everybody's on it. So if you have a product you love or clothes that you absolutely can't live without, like, share those types of things. Ask for people's advice. If you're getting married, that is like one of the biggest markets to target towards. You want to ask questions, even if you don't care what their opinion is, because it's going to create that engagement, and the algorithms are going to go wild for you. And I just really want you to write down, you need to feel empowered with what you have, and that is your coaching gift. Every single day you wake up and you log in, you should look at it as a gift, because you have the ability to touch somebody's life and make a change in there forever. So your story could impact so many people. And so every single time you wake up in the morning, you better be thanking whoever you thank for the gift of another day, because you are involved in this coaching community. I love the quote, there will never be a right time in anybody's life. There will never be a right time. You just need to decide to start. So I kind of wanted to get that out there before I got into my organization, just so that you knew from my heart what I feel is most important in your coaching business. All right. Are your dreams, goals, and aspirations really a priority? Like, are they really a priority? Because if they were, then you would find a way. All right. So if they're not a priority, you're going to find an excuse. And that's where it comes down to the successful coaches from the coaches who are maybe just right there. What is the outcome that you are determined to achieve by the end of the year? I really, really hope that you have those goals written down or on a vision board somewhere, because that's something that you should do every December. But you should also look at it and, reflect in it this July. You should have done it half or, in the middle of the year, because you need to think about, where am I on track with this? What am I doing? How am I breaking down my goals? Are my actions actually leveling up to where my goals expect me to be? I love the phrase of just reverse engineering your life. If you want, to be able to pay for your electric bill, your Shakeology expenses, and your groceries, write that number out to the cent and decide, okay, how many challenge packs would that equal out to? What would my residual income look like? What are Team Cycle bonuses going to do to contribute to that? How many people do I need to sign up to get to Team Cycle bonuses? All right, if I'm an Emerald coach, I'm making $14. If I'm a Diamond coach, I'm making $18. So how is that going to help? How am I going to get to Diamond coach so I can get to that $18 Team Cycle bonus? Do you see what I'm doing here? When I had goals, I was so super specific that I was able to really nitpick every little detail. And then every time I showed up or logged into my coaching account, I had a purpose. I knew exactly why I was plugging in that day or why I was reaching out that day. you really need to make sure that, like I said, your actions are leveling up to what your goals are. Because if you have big, scary goals, that's amazing. I'm always a big component of dreaming bigger. That's my motto for this year. But if your actions don't match what you're speaking or what you're trying to accomplish, then that's all on you. That's nobody else's fault. That's something that you need to take a deeper look in and reflect to see what really matters to you. So pay attention to the trends in your work ethic and in your business. Are you scrolling on Facebook and on Instagram? If you are, it's okay, you're human. But you need to really dial in and think about, okay, I just scrolled for the past 25 minutes and watched puppy videos on YouTube. How is that helping my business? The answer is not. And so Stephanie Gilland, if you're on this call right now, girl, can you share the extension that you can add into your computer where it doesn't even show your Facebook scroll page? I thought that was brilliant, and she came across it, I think, about a year ago. And ever since, anytime she comes onto Facebook, she gets this motivational quote. She doesn't even see the Facebook feed. So when she's in there for only her challenge group. She's in there only for work purposes, because her goals and her vision is so laser focused that scrolling's not on her to-do list, right? Netflix, we all love it. And there is a perfect time and place for Netflix, let me tell you. However, is Netflix getting in the way of time spent on your business? And you just have to be honest with yourself. And it's okay if Thursday nights you want to have a Netflix binge watch night with your spouse, go for it. But schedule that into your account and make sure that you're hustling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, right? You need to turn your plans into purposeful and strategic actions. Turn your plans into purposeful and strategic actions. So that kind of goes back into the reverse engineering of things. How am I going to get to where I want to be? My big why ever since day one, wanted to be a stay-at-home mom with my babies. How did I do that? I envisioned myself playing on the floor on a Wednesday afternoon, sun peeping in. It was like 1 o'clock, and I envisioned this, and I was home with my babies. I did not have to drop them off at a daycare. That was my purposeful why, and that's where I had my strategic actions. All right, dreaming big, 10xing my efforts, not allowing any excuses to get in the way. So one thing that I loved that Melanie Mitro gave to us at New Leadership Conference was repurpose what works and scrap what doesn't. You guys, you're going to fail at this business. If you don't fail, then you're not pushing hard enough. You have to fail forward. Like, you have to learn from your failures. So look at your month after each month and see what didn't work, scrap it. Use what did work and grow upon it. If it doesn't work, change the plan. Do not ever change your goal. I was never going to change the fact that I wanted to stay home with my babies. So that was a non-negotiable for me. So if something didn't work, I changed my plan. All right, next up we have finding your balance. So you need to pick and choose where you're going to be spending your time wisely. Again, for me, it was in the morning, because after work, that was quality time spent with my spouse. And that was something that was very important to me. You need to set your work hours and your personal life events, and you need to schedule out your life. It sounds silly, but put in that time that you want to spend watching Netflix with your spouse. Put in that time where you're going to watch The Bachelorette. You need to make sure that you're also enjoying life so that you're not resenting the business. And then you need to share your goals and your weekly reoccurring events with your significant other. This was the number one mistake that I had made in the past, and that was not clearly communicating what I felt was a priority in my business. So Monday night calls, priority. National wake up call, I wasn't able to listen to it live, so I had to schedule that into my day another time. I wanted to make sure that I had coffee hours and happy hours and one-on-ones with coaches. And so I needed to schedule that in and explain why to my spouse at the time, but that was important for my business to grow. So you need to show that significant other. And I know a lot of you on here might not have a supportive spouse or a supportive significant other, and that's okay. Neither did I. And I'm still number 6 in the company. So, hey, Moose. Sorry, guys. So instead of just telling them why Beachbody is important to you, you need to show them why. Like, show them the picture of that coach that you helped pay for her electric bill. Show them the picture of your client who lost 10 to 15 pounds. Tell them about Carla who got off of her high cholesterol medication. You know, those types of stories are actually people. It's not just a product or a workout. It's something that actually is important and can really resonate with someone. And honestly, give it time. If you are passionate about this, then you need to show that passion every single day. And hopefully that snowball effect of that emotion is going to stick with them and show them that this is something that's truly important to you. So you don't have a lack of time, you have a lack of organization. That was another really great quote that I got from New Leadership Conference. Okay. So here's where I shifted in my organization, and it has been a dream come true. So why do I use Google Calendar? Because Melanie Mitro told me to use it, so there's that. It's convenient and it's easy and it's appealing to the eyes. It pairs and syncs with your phone and computer, and it's color coordinated. So all you teachers and type A personalities out there, you're gonna love Google Calendar if you're not already using it. Google Calendar basically transformed my life because I was using the iPhone calendar before hearing Melanie Mitro speak about this topic. And then I transitioned because she's number one in the company. So why wouldn't you use what she suggests to use? So if you're not using Google Calendar, I very highly suggest that you look into it. And I know that you're going to absolutely love it. So when you get into Google Calendar, you're first going to add in family time and your workouts. So your family time is the number one, it should be the number one priority in your life, because you don't want your children and your spouse to get the rest of you. You want them to get the best of you. So what you do is you look at your week every Sunday night and you put in, soccer practices, you put in time after school to work on homework together, you put in quality time, if you go out to the movies or whatever, schedule that time and block it off. And I don't have children, so I'm speaking from Melanie's words, but she used red because red was like an important color to her. And so red represented family. And then put in your workouts. So you need to schedule your workouts just like you would schedule a CEO meeting with the boss. When are you going to get that workout in? It doesn't have to be the same every single day. Maybe Wednesdays and Fridays, you have to do it after work. That's fine, but still plug it in because it's part of your day, it's part of your schedule, and it's important to your success. Then you need to add in your other work schedule. So when do you have, when's your block of time for teaching? And honestly, I would put in my block of time for teaching, and then I would have my lunch break in a different color because that kind of showed me that I have a little wiggle room to do some more work at that time. Then you need to add in your personal business time. So your personal development, when are you going to be reading your PD? You better be reading your PD every day, you guys. That is the one thing you definitely should not be, that and working out. You should never, ever, ever go a day without it. So where are you scheduling that into your day? How about your check-ins? You need to have time to check in. You need to have time to reach out. Maybe you even need to go as far as scheduling your shower. When are you going to shower in the day? When are you going to have your meals in the day? Amanda and I were just talking about how we have to set alarms for reminders to eat because it's like we just get so wrapped up in our days that it's important for us to be reminded to eat. So whatever works for you, schedule it into your calendar. Then you need to add in your calls, the National Wake Up Call, the team calls, your professional development calls. Whatever is important to growing your business, you better be scheduling that in. And like I said, I was never able to catch a National Wake Up Call live. And so I scheduled that into my day later on or, the following day on the car ride home. Last, you need to add in team time. That's where you're creating content, your training videos, your one-on-ones, and then going live into groups. Schedule those into your calendar as well. And the best part about Google Calendar is you can share it with your significant other. So then he can see or she can see exactly where your schedule is. And they can also see that you've scheduled the family time, that you've scheduled the unplugged time. And that's the other really important thing. And a lesson that I've learned too is when you are having that quality time with someone, go put your phone in the bedroom and turn it on to airplane mode, because when you have a notification pop up, it's so easy just to grab your phone and scroll through, and it's done without you even realizing it. So when you have your family time scheduled out, be done. be done with your phone, be done with social media, be done with your computer, be done with notifications, and be there, because your children deserve the best of you. And then they're not going to resent the business. So that's important too. Okay, so before I get to my last slide here, whoops, I just wanted to show you a little bit of how I schedule out my Google Calendar and why it's so crucial for me to plan out my calendar before the month even happens. So as you can see here, I have my workout scheduled for 7 a.m. I usually get done, depending on where I am, around that time. I have every Monday the National Wake Up Call scheduled. Every Monday night, the Team Fight to Finish call scheduled. We have our coffee chats at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. I have my team calls on Sundays, the 2nd and 4th. And then I have some of my life events that are happening. So Heidi and Ryan are coming to visit. We leave for Kansas City. We're going to Vegas. So I have all of those things set in. And this is for September. So I'm already looking a month ahead. My October is already scheduled out. So I kind of just wanted to show you what I have and how you can schedule your Google Calendar to fit your needs. So this is the month view. What I love about it is you can even go down to a week view. And so on your week view here, if I were to schedule a meeting with, a one-on-one, or if I wanted to book in my PD time, what's really nice is I can put a block here. We're just going to call this PD, and I'm just showing you this for example. So if my PD, I want it to be a half hour long, I want it to be represented by green.
Hey, Aim, we can't see your calendar. We just see slide 8 right now.
Oh, shoot. I wonder why. I'm going to try sharing it again, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll make another video on it. Hold on. Can you see it now? Yeah? Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's go back here. So as you can see, I have everything scheduled in. Everything's a different color because that's the color I chose. And the best thing about Google Calendar is you can go into the week, you can go into the month, you can even go into the day. So if I were to schedule here, I have my workouts Monday through Friday. I want to get on the Miracle Morning, so that's why I have it scheduled for that time. And then I want to go in here and I want to create a time from 8 to 8:30 for my PD. And then you can choose the option where it's going to repeat weekly on Mondays, monthly on the first Monday, annually every weekday, Monday through Friday, which I'm going to choose. And then I'm going to make it a green. Oh, someone's drawing on me. And then you save it and it plugs it in for you right underneath your workout or however you want. And then what I love too is here I have this block of time. So when I have one-on-ones with my coaches, I can say, okay, I'm free from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Which time works best for you? 2 o'clock? Awesome. Meeting with Liz. I'm going to create that. So it's a half hour, save. And then if I click on that, I can change it to my purple because that's what represents my calls, my one-on-one calls. So as you can see, it's just really awesome and convenient to schedule out your day to make sure that you have, it's just a really great visual. So here, if you did work another job, you would block that in with a different color. If you had soccer practice or quality time with your kids, go ahead and plug that in because that's the first thing you should do. Scheduling your date nights, those are important too. So if you know that you're going to go every Thursday night out with your kids or with your spouse and you're going to have a babysitter for your kids, plug that in so that you don't ever schedule anything work related there. And you guys, you have to stick to your schedule because consistency is the one thing that's going to show your spouse that you can balance your life and build a business while still honoring your quality time with your family. So again, making sure that you are prioritizing what's important and how you're going to utilize that. You can also go a step further. So when I look at my schedule here, I know that I always run my challenge group starting on the second Monday of every month because I like to start my coach prep school on the first Monday of the month. So I'm going to plug that in. I always love to have my coaching sneak peek like the first Wednesday of the month. So you can go in and plug that in. So by the third week of every month, you should be going into your next month's calendar and planning things out. And then I take it one step further and I go in every Sunday night when I'm planning my posts for my challenge groups. And I go in through that week, and let's say I have a dentist appointment, or I need to go bring my car to the, dealership or whatever. Like, I plug that in. So I know when I'm scheduling things or when I need to go make a video for my one-on-one calls, those are the types of things that I can look at visually and know exactly where I want to be a boss and then also, have a life. So scheduling is very, very important. And then I just have one last slide here, and then I will take questions. So I just have some important things to remember. You must, number one, hands down, communicate to whoever you're living with. If you're single, bravo, because you're on your own time and you could do your own damn thing. It was kind of a blessing in disguise to just be on my own schedule for once for a little bucket of time. If I could find anything positive about the past year, it was like, all right, I'm just working for me here. But you need to communicate for whoever you're living with, whoever's important to your life, whoever you love, because they are not living this Beachbody life. You are living this Beachbody life. You are the one passionate. You are the one with goals. You are the one with the dream. They might not get that because they're not living this. They don't know the community. They don't know about the team calls. They don't realize how uplifting and amazing this feels every single day. So instead of just getting upset with them if they give you a hard time that you're now spending more time on your business, explain to them why this is important for you to spend this time so you can reach that goal. So they're not going to see the reason unless you show them why. You need to schedule your unplugged time and you need to stick to it, you guys. If you tell your spouse that you have family time scheduled out, but you keep going into that family time to work, then you're not honoring that commitment and they are going to resent this business. And then you need to ask yourself every Sunday, what is my top priority this week? What is my goal? What do I want to accomplish? How am I going to 10x my efforts so that I can be the most effective coach I can be? And honestly, just do the work, you guys. Don't just talk about it. Do the work. It's important. And remember that what you do today is going to pay off in 6 months. So it's not an instant gratification type of business, but it will have a snowball effect if you are consistently showing up every single day and honoring that commitment of what your goals are saying that you want to commit to. So if it's truly important to you, you will find a way. If it's not, then you are going to find an excuse, girlfriend, and somebody else will chase after that dream.
Oh, so good. So just so you know, there were 300 people on this call.
300 people?
300
wow. That's so
biggest
cool.
call ever. So you guys throw your comments and I can read them out to Amy. But obviously just seeing everything visual was so cool because it's like, when you're a successful coach, you have to be organized. Even if that's not your strong suit, you have to figure out what it is to be organized and to figure it out. And also you have put in, obviously hitting Success Club 10 for 32 months in a row. Like you didn't just do the bare minimum that you needed to do. You're like, I'm going to 10X my efforts. And then it just kept growing. And it's like, that's why you're the coach that you are today, because you decided to just keep on doing everything. And I posted in the comments, but I feel like for you, every time I told you to do something, you're like, okay, it's done. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. Like it was never like, well, Jamie, I don't have time for that. Or like, well, that's not going to work for me. It was always like, okay, I'll do it. So it's like, just know, guys, that your coach always wants to push you and wants to do it with you, but it does take hard work. Like Amy said, this isn't something that you're going to see success from on day one, but when you really see that big vision and you do create that vision board that she showed, like you can do anything.
Amen, sister. Amen.
Can you share this PowerPoint in Tftf?
Absolutely. I'd be honored.
She'd be honored. What do you wish you knew when you first started coaching?
I honestly feel like I wanted to be good at it really quickly. And, I think that was a blessing and a curse because I was really hard on myself and I was not patient. I wanted it to be right away and I wanted it to happen. And if anyone knows my story too, I had 3 emeralds on one leg. So it was like to hit that diamond goal was so frustrating and so just stressful. But and there were moments where I was like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just never going to get there, because it's hard to feel like that is ever going to be in your future when you're struggling through the grind of the dirty work up front. But what you put in, all this effort that you're going to put in right now that stinks, like no one likes reaching out. No one likes to make a list of 50 Instagram handles and then follow up the next day. Like it's exhausting. But every business that you're going to build is going to be exhausting. No business came easy to anyone. But now in my shoes today, looking back, every single ounce of those hours where I was like, ugh, this stinks, was so worth it because I no longer have to reach out. You know, like I have that snowball effect that's built my business to the point where it is today. And so, yes, it was all worth it to me. So give yourself some grace, realize that dirty work goes in at the beginning so that you can live that life that you've always dreamed of later on. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be, you know, with some of my goals, but so I am still pushing very, very much, but it's just like once you see that moment where it's just like, I worked so hard for this. And that is like the best feeling ever.
What rank did you have to be able to quit your job?
Gosh, I don't even know. It wasn't rank. For me, it was income. So I just needed to supplement my teaching income and then some, because we had gotten comfortable using our Beachbody income plus our teaching income. So once we were able to realize, okay, if I was able to work this business full time, think of how much bigger it could get in a year based upon how I made it grow while I was working a full-time job. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So it's not really, because rank doesn't decide your income,
no,
you guys.
Totally. Any tips on how to invite? Is it terrible to take this business slow and not jump towards the high ranks right away and just kind of study the business?
I think so, but just be careful, Sarah, because you could be the best note taker in the world and have the prettiest handwriting and colorful, whatevers. But unless you're actually applying it to the business or actually trying it in your social media, your business isn't going to go anywhere. And there's just so much to learn. Like I'm still learning every single day. So it's exciting to me to implement what I learn as I go, because that's going to help you grow.
Well, also in like where you're at in your business, you've also crushed your recruiting goals the first week, like your absolute non-negotiable. So yeah, then there might be time. And same thing for this call, guys. You can absorb this call and rewatch this call 20 times and spend your whole month developing your calendar, and it's beautiful and it's magical. But if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not bringing people on to your team, your business isn't going to grow to create that big vision board that you created. So like I always say to coaches to make sure that you set your goals. Like that first week is recruiting. That first week is inviting and following up, like all the stuff that's hard because it takes time, but like focus on that. And then if you have some extra time, in week 3 of your business or whatever the month looks like for you, then you can take a little bit more time creating and, watching trainings and stuff like that.
Right.
Group, I'm thinking they meant like, what is your group schedule throughout the month?
Okay. So what's worked for me, and again, one size does not ever fit all for Beachbody. So you need to make sure that it's something that you can do and something that you enjoy doing. But I ran at the beginning of my coaching career 2 challenge groups a month, because that would help me bring in 2 waves of people, 2 waves of challengers, 2 waves of Success Club points. So I always did the 2nd Monday of the month and the 4th Monday of the month. Those were my start dates for my 21-day boot camps. When I was, starting off free groups, I wanted to have my free group before my prep week, because I wanted to transition those people from my free group, my 5-day clean eating group, from that group into my challenge group, and they would be able to get that clean week plus order their supply in order in time for that first month or the 2nd Monday of the month. So that's kind of how I ran my free group, clean or prep week, and then my 21-day boot camp. And then my coaching sneak peeks, when I was pushing for Diamond, I hosted every single Wednesday night. Every single Wednesday night, I hosted a coaching sneak peek, because recruiting is the key to getting to Diamond, right? So every single time, even if I only had 1 person, 2 people, 10 people, was great practice to share my story, to talk about why coaching brought me so much joy and why they could do it too. So if you're pushing, definitely recommend doing the coaching sneak peeks as often as possible. And then I would go into and schedule, my group chats with my team, my leaders, those types of things.
How do you ask potential customers / coaches to be on your team?
I just ask if they would like to hear more about the opportunity.
Megan said that she's talking to a handful of girls, developing a good relationship, but just can't seem to ask them in a non-salesy way.
Well, if it ever feels salesy to you, then you need to take a step back and realize, what has Beachbody done for you? Because it's not about the products. I mean, it is about products, but you're not selling the product, you're selling the opportunity. Or you're sharing your story in hopes to inspire others that they can do this too. So for me, it was me talking about, how the 21-day fix transformed my fitness and my health. I didn't have a very good mindset with food before it. So I would just kind of touch base on that. I would ask them if they had any fitness goals. I would relate to them on Tone It Up because I love Tone It Up, but there was no accountability with Tone It Up. So we would talk about what the community offers. Sometimes I would just go out and say, girl, you're so inspiring. Like, you could inspire so many people and help change lives. Would you like to hear more about what I do as a coach? I mean, it was something that I was passionate about, and I never felt salesy talking about the opportunity.
Did you run your groups alone, or do you do them with other coaches?
I did it kind of half and half. So I did like 2 by myself and 2 with others. But you need to make sure that you find a good group of people that mesh well with what you want to get across. Because when people join your coaching sneak peek, they want to hear your heart, right? They want to hear why. So make sure that you are, keeping your groups that feels like you, because they want to join your team. So you don't want, 9 different people sharing their stories where it could get a little messy and confusing. So make sure that you're running your groups as effectively as possible.
All right, guys, if you have any other questions, she's got time for a couple more minutes. Just drop them in the comments. But I have a question. So what does your morning routine look like now as opposed to when you were full-time with teaching?
So now I still get up, kind of life has changed a little bit here and there, but we've been getting up around 5 a.m. to still crush our workout to get onto our Morning Miracle Zoom call, especially now that I'm 2 hours behind you Eastern babes. I still want to see your beautiful faces. So 5 a.m. workout, shower, PD, coffee, devotionals, making sure that I really, because if I'm not strict about my schedule, it doesn't happen. So it's like, I have to whip out that Bible. Otherwise it will not be read, so it still takes a lot of discipline for me to do the actions that I know I need to do. I have the Calm app for meditation. I listen to relaxing music, shower, get ready, and then I plug into my challenge groups. I want to make sure that my girls, my coaches, my challengers feel like I am present in the morning. And then I'll go into, what do I need to create for my team, recognition posts, those types of things. Then my afternoon block from like 1 to 4 is usually emails. And then I try to be unplugged by a certain amount of time, depending on, what my day consists of. So it really is, it does vary day to day, but do what works for you.
Well, I think your morning routine is always like great for you to get content too. Like, how many of your PD books or devotionals have I bought? Because I'm just like, okay, what book is this? What book is this? Because I just I see you reading them and I'm like, oh, yeah. I know that. I would love that too, So it's like, I think it's like you just having that routine. People wake up and they're like, even whatever time zone they're on, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm in bed and Amy already worked out. Oh my gosh, now she's drinking her coffee and she's reading her book. That's like, for me, that's like what motivates me. So it's like, I feel like that's always a really easy way for you to get your content first thing in the morning to start off that, especially when people, say they struggle to post or what to post and stuff. It's like, I feel like you just get your mind right before the day starts, really.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Kimberly had asked, if you haven't made a decent income with coaching, it's still important to do coach sneak peeks, right? Talk about accountability, what I love about it, etc.
Exactly. Yep. Always. And if you don't have anyone in your coaching sneak peek, then invite your friends and your family, invite your mom, have your sister come in, because having the practice and then posting about it on social media that you did a coaching sneak peek, regardless of who's in it, like, do it anyway. I also tell my newer coaches, one of the best ways to get your story across and why you're doing Beachbody and what Beachbody brings to your life is to go live on your Facebook like page and then share that video onto your personal Facebook page so that your friends and your family can see why you're passionate about what you're doing and you're not just in another MLM. Like, this is something that's changing your life and your mindset and the community, and use all those buzzwords. And ask people to then go and support you on Instagram and on Facebook. Like, your friends and your family love you. They're going to want to support your journey. So get your story out there. Let them hear your voice and your passion instead of just reading words with a photo. So that's another really great way to kind of attract people to why you're doing what you're doing.
All right. So final question for the night. With social media and following those who you're pursuing, I like how you put LOL in parentheses, but that made me laugh too. How much time, how often did you spend commenting and liking on those photos?
I mean, when I was doing the 531, it was always during my prep and my lunch. So teaching was my priority when I was a teacher. I wanted to be the best teacher I could for those kiddos. You know, they depended on that. That was my job. But if I had extra pockets of time, I would spend that time 531ing and finding people. So going and just finding 5 photos to like, 3 photos to comment, that should take you maybe 3 minutes, right? It shouldn't take you that long. If it is, you're scrolling too much. You're thinking too hard about it. And then, you know, following them and then recording in my journal that I needed to follow up with them the next day and see if they followed me back or if they messaged me or whatever. That, I mean, it maybe took 5 minutes per person. So if it's taking more than that, then you need to really try and be a little bit more efficient with your time and have that sense of urgency, right? So if you had to set a timer on your phone, I bet you would work a lot faster and a lot more efficient than if you had 2 hours to just kind of do what you needed to get done. So always have that sense of urgency. Set a timer on your phone and stick to it.
Thank you so much. That was so good.
I love you guys so much. Go enjoy The Bachelorette. Woot woot.
All right, guys, this recording will be up tomorrow morning. Make sure you tag all your coaches who were crazy enough to miss this live. But I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you, Amy. You crushed it.
Yeah, love you guys. Have a good Monday.
Bye, guys.